Committee. The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you for the opportunity of appearing before this august committee, particularly with my friend and colleague from California. Mr. Chairman, the thread that holds the tapestry of our country together is respect for and adherence to the rule of law. The law is the single greatest unifying and equalizing force that we have. The law, Mr. Chairman, is symbolized by a blindfolded woman holding nothing but a set of scales and a sword, because the law is simultaneously both a shield and a sword, and it is the foundation upon which this republic stands, and quite simply, it is what binds us together. So attempts to undermine the law via executive fiat, Mr. Chairman, frankly, regardless of motivation, are detrimental to that foundation. In 2014, President Obama announced his plan for one of the largest extra-constitutional acts ever presented by a chief executive, and he declared unilaterally almost 5 million undocumented immigrants would receive deferred action under some newfangled definition of prosecutorial discretion. In addition to using discretion as a license to rewrite the law, he also planned to confer affirmative benefits, such as work authorization and lawful presence. You may like the policy, Mr. Chairman. You may wish the policy were the law. But one person does not make the law in a republic. If you enjoy a single person making the law, you should perhaps investigate living in another country, because that is not the country that our framers gave us, nor have generations of our fellow citizens fought for, served in, and sacrificed for a single person to unilaterally make the law. The president has recognized, Mr. Chairman, on his own initiative 20 separate times that he lacked the power to do exactly what he did. In 2011, he said, and I quote, "The notion that I could just suspend deportations through executive orders, that is just not the case." And he told us time and time again, Mr. Chairman, that he was not a king. Now, his position may have changed, but the Constitution has not. The president can veto a bill for any reason or no reason. The president can refuse to defend the constitutionality of a statute, even a statute that he signs into law. He can issue pardons for violations of the very laws that he signs into existence, and he has prosecutorial discretion as evidenced and used through his U.S. attorneys. Mr. Chairman, that's a lot of power, but that amount of power apparently is not enough. What he cannot do is make law by himself. That is the responsibility of the Congress, and if this president's unilateral extra-constitutional acts are not stopped, future presidents, you may rest assured, will further expand the power of the executive branch, threatening our constitutional equilibrium. And Mr. Chairman, I use that phrase because that is exactly what is at stake in this case: constitutional equilibrium. The same Constitution that provides that Congress shall pass law requires the chief executive to take care that the law is faithfully executed. And the facts at bar, both of those constitutional precepts are at issue. The district court, as you know, Mr. Chairman, issued a temporary injunction against the administration's plan. The injunction was based on the fact that the administration violated the law in its haste to allow others to violate the law. The administration appealed and sought a stay before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and the Fifth Circuit denied both requests. For too long, Mr. Chairman, Congress has stood by while the executive branch has engaged in a variant of constitutional adverse possession. The president came on the floor of the people's house and said he would do it with or without us. With all due respect, he cannot and will not and should not do it with or without us. The House has the standing to bring this suit, but instead the states did. And since the House has standing to bring the suit, of course, it has standing to weigh in on the briefs. And Speaker Ryan is correct to do so in this fashion. Today, Mr. Speaker, it will be immigration. Tomorrow, it may be the criminal code, and then it will be something else. And I caution all of my friends, today you may benefit from the non-application of the law. Tomorrow, you will cry out for the law to be enforced. And once weakened, it will not be repaired. So the House not only has a right, Mr. Chairman, but quite candidly, an obligation to stand up for itself. And frankly, I think we ought to do it more often. And with that, I would yield back.
Chairman Gowdy, thank you very much. Ms. Loughran, welcome. We're delighted